everyone, it's Shelby here. Welcome back to a little literary love, excuse me. I'm glad you all are with me today. Today's video is going to be my June mid-month wrap-up. I am au naturel for this video because, of course, me being a procrastinist, I always end up waiting to the night before I'm going to end up publishing my videos for you all to edit my videos. And I realized, this is my second time filming this, by the way, I realized that my audio, my microphone, went out like 5 minutes into the video. So then my video had no audio. So it is like 8 o'clock at night that I'm filming this. Luckily, it's summer, so I still have a little bit of natural light coming in. But yeah, so I love that for me. Really do. So here we are again, talking about the 5 books that I read in the latter half of June. So I'm hoping this should be a pretty quick one. Since I've kind of gone through all these books before, it should be pretty quick for me to go through them again. And then at the end of the video, I will talk about just like my stats for the month, my goals, if I met my goals, and where I was at for the month. Okay, so moving right into it, first book that I read in the second half of June is going to be Morally Corrupt by Veronica Lancet. This is a dark romance. I read an arc for this. This was actually a book that has previously been published, or actually she ended up taking a prequel novella that she'd written and the book Morally Corrupt, and she kind of like smashed them together in this newly like rebranded, got a new cover. But this is about our female main character, Bianca. She is a sociopath. She loves killing. She's a serial killer, and she's very young. And her father is like, I can't remember if he's exactly mafia, but he's a very wealthy, influential kind of person. He ends up having like a business party, and there's this detective there, Theo, and he is entranced by Bianca, and she is immediately smitten with him, and she decides that she's going to do whatever she needs to make him hers. And in doing so, she also ends up, number one, the Bianca that he knows, she pretends to be this like meek and docile woman, very innocent, so that he will fall in love with her and want to marry her, which he does. But then she also pretends to be this sex worker at a club that he goes to, so that she can like be with him in that way. So they ended up getting married, and Theo, like I said, he's a detective, and he is wanting to investigate and get revenge on the death of his parents. So in his investigations that he's been doing, this kind of leads him to his wife. And like there's like these clues that lead him back to his wife, and he starts thinking, and he starts following her around and finds out that she is a serial killer, and that she has been lying to him this entire time. And he's very intrigued by her and by all of this that's going on. At first he's like, I don't know if I can like accept this, but he's just so drawn to her and he loves her so much. So I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I mostly gave it 4 stars because of the plot, and it was just a very enjoyable read. It was very entertaining. I didn't necessarily feel like either characters had a ton of depth to them. There was some really great steamy scenes in this, and there was a little bit of like growth. I don't know, they just weren't like my favorite. I didn't like dislike them, but they weren't like my favorite characters. But this was just overall a very entertaining story. Then I read My Summer Girl by Maeve Black. This is another arc that I read. This is a paranormal romance. This is kind of part of a series that Maeve Black did. about these siblings that are Cupids and each of them finding love for themselves. So this is like book 3. This is about Dulce. She has seen 2 of her other siblings find love, and she decides that she wants a chance herself at finding love. She has been frequenting a sex club for a while, and she has been in a dom sub type of relationship, although non-sexual, with the club's owner, Vex. They are non-binary, and she is wanting to make her feelings known to them and to have more of a sexual and emotional type of relationship with them. Then we have some other characters coming into this too. So then we have Vera. She is a queen of her realm, but her realm is starting to die out because nobody can pollinate right now. And in order for her realm to pollinate, she also has to pollinate, if you know what I mean. So she has to find her mate so that she can have babies, and then that also kind of helps to repopulate her realm. So her best friend and her first in command, her guard, she sends him off to try to find her a mate somewhere else. This pisses him off, and I cannot remember what his name is for the life of me, because number one, he is in love with Vera. So he's upset about that, but then he goes off world to try to find her the perfect mate, and he stumbles across Dulce. But this is also kind of a double-edged sword for him because he realizes, number one, that Dulce would be a great mate for Vera, his best friend, the person that he is in love with, but he also realizes that Dulce is his fated mate. So he's like torn, he doesn't know what to do. So he ends up stealing her away to their realm, and they kind of have some relations together. And then Vex is pissed off because he's like, somebody took my girlfriend. And so he travels to this realm as well, runs into Vera, and then they all kind of run in together and realize that they all would be great mates for each other. So it's a bit of a messy story, not gonna lie, because there's a lot of different moving parts going on with this. This is a polycule relationship romance, but I gave it 4 stars. I really loved this romance. I thought it was just it was so cute and fun and steamy too. And I loved how all of these characters ended up coming together and falling in love with each other. It is a little bit insta love, which I'm usually not a big fan of, but I did still enjoy it in this one. And I did also really like the LGBTQ representation in this one. Most of the characters are like Dulce and Vera, and the guy that I can't remember his name are either, I can't remember if it specifies what they are, but I think they're at least bisexual or pansexual. And then of course we have Vex, who is non-binary, and he's also demisexual, which means that he does not usually feel attraction towards anybody until he gets to know them better. So I really enjoyed this one. And then I read Show Me by Neve Wilder, which was actually a recommendation from one of you all. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. I forgot to write that down. But this is a contemporary Achillean romance, so that means male-male. This is the 3rd book in the extracurricular activities series. I have read the first one prior to this. I ended up skipping the second one and then picking this one up. So this is about Jesse and Sam. They are roommates in college. Sam is a football player, and Jesse is like this out and about proud gay man, but he is kind of down on his luck in regards to the love department. He wants to find a boyfriend, he wants to find love, but he's just not finding the best luck. He ends up stumbling upon Sam's laptop and finding out that Sam has his own OnlyFans account. And he's kind of turned on and intrigued, but also really embarrassed by this. And then Sam finds out that Jesse knows about this, and Sam ends up asking him for help with his OnlyFans account. So then, of course, they get into all of these sexy kind of scenarios together because they're trying to come up with different things for his account. And in doing so, they become closer as friends and roommates. And then eventually they end up falling in love together. I gave this one 4 stars. It was very steamy, very hot. And honestly, the author's writing style of this, I really gravitated towards. It's very funny type of writing style. And I just found this whole book very entertaining. Then I read Leather and Lark by Brynne Weaver. This is a new release for June. I did listen to this on audiobook, and I really feel like that's the best way to go with probably this entire series because of the duet narration. It just probably the best audiobooks I have ever listened to, hands down. This is, again, a dark romantic comedy, very dark romance. This is about Lachlan. He is the brother of the main male character of the first book, and Lark, who is the best friend of the main female character of the first book. Lachlan is he's kind of a contract killer. He works for this creepy boss guy, and at some point he is given a job to clean up one of her murders because she is a serial killer. And he kind of botches the job because he pisses her off, and that leads to has this ripple effect. And her family is a very influential family, and because he didn't treat her well, they want to kill him. And I'm saying this all in a question-y kind of thing because even though I listened to this on audiobook, and even I feel like if I read this, I would still be very confused. So anyway, Lark is sort of tasked with finding this killer or something and pulls him into it, but then she proposes that they get married so that then her family doesn't kill him. I don't know. This was kind of a mess, honestly. The first book of the series I gave 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. And then you get to this one and I was really disappointed with this one. I absolutely loved Brynne Weaver's writing style as far as the banter between these characters. I really liked Lachlan and Lark's characters. I thought they were so quirky, and I love seeing them fall in love with each other. But I really wish this plot was not so messy and confusing. I had no clue what was going on with this. I had no idea. It didn't make any sense to me why they had to get married, what they were doing. The killer person that I didn't even realize that they were trying to find was really obvious who it was. It was just a mess, and I just didn't really care for it. So I gave it 3.5 stars. This was just kind of a no for me. And I was really sad to say that because I was so hyped for this book, so hyped. So I will read the 3rd book when it does come out. I know it's not supposed to be coming out until the beginning of next year sometime, but I'm just not super hyped for it. I hope I enjoy it just as much as the first one, but fingers crossed. And then the last book that I read for June is going to be Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This is if you can't tell by the cover, it is a sapphic romance. This is about Delilah. She is kind of estranged from her family. They did not really treat her all that well. So she is back in her hometown to be the photographer for her sister's wedding and runs into her sister's best friend, Claire. Claire is a single mom, and they definitely have the hots for each other, but I kind of realized they're ooh, we can't really be together because of Iris. I think that's what her sister's name is. Maybe. Anyway, So they're like, we can't actually be together, but of course, you know, they've got the hots for each other. And then they're also trying to, Claire and her friend pull Delilah into their plotting that they're doing because they want to stop this wedding, because Iris and her fiance, like, don't even act like they like each other, and he's honestly kind of an ass to her. So they're trying to, like, stop all this from happening. And then in doing so, of course, Claire and Delilah fall in love, and they kind of start some of the process of re-damaging, or repairing the damage, that Delilah has with her sister. So I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I liked the growth that these characters go through. I liked the sexy times that they had. I just thought this was a very fun and cute story. So there's all the books that I read for June. I ended up reading 14 books. And I did fairly well with my goals. There's only one of the goals that I did not meet. So one of my goals is to read a nonfiction, which I did that. I read How to Be an Anti-Racist. So that was actually the first time that I met my nonfiction goal. So yay. And then I have a goal of to read 2 physical books. So I did that with Delilah Green Doesn't Care, but I did not read any other physical books, so I did not meet that goal. And then I have a goal to read 3 diverse books, and by that I mean any book that is written by a non-white author, by an LGBTQ author, by an author with a disability or neurodivergent. I just really am wanting to try to continue working on diversifying my reading. So I did great at that. I think I got like 6 books in. I had a couple Christine C. Jones books, Kimberly Brown, the How to Be an Anti-Racist, You and Me by Tal Bauer, and then the Maeve Black book would all be considered diverse books. So I'm really proud of myself for doing that, and I'm hoping to continue this trend of reading more diversely. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. I feel like it's kind of a mess since I'm having to like put this together last minute to like put out for you all, since I of course procrastinate like on everything. I really should do something about that, but oh well. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And if you got to the end of this video, let's do something fun. Let's put an emoji in the comment section down below. Let's do, since it was just 4th of July, let's do a firework emoji. So if you get here to the end, please comment with an emoji. But yeah, that'll be it. I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.